There is a secret no one has ever told you, though it has been in front of you your whole life. You have never touched the world, not once. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the voice of someone you love, the colors of a city at night, none of these have ever truly been outside of you. They are reconstructions, translations, a private performance in the theater of your mind. Light never enters your awareness. It is caught by the eye, converted into signals, and reassembled as vision. Sound is only vibrations in the air, transformed into an inner echo. Even the sensation of your body is not the body itself, but the brain's fragile interpretation of it. The truth is unsettling. The world you think you live in has never been out there. It has always been within. And so the question emerges, disturbing and irresistible. If everything we know of the world is an inward projection, then what, if anything, is reality itself? You might think this is only a trick of language, but it is not. The redness of a rose does not exist in the flower itself. Out there in the world are only wavelengths of light. Your brain converts them into color, into something vivid, emotional, meaningful. Without eyes, without a mind to perceive it, there is no red. The rose is not beautiful, it simply is. The same is true for sound. What we call music is only the air vibrating, meaningless pressure waves rippling through space. And yet inside you, it becomes melody. It becomes sorrow, joy, transcendence. The world you know, the colors, the sounds, the warmth of touch, exist only because consciousness translates it into something human. Outside of us, there is no such thing as warm, or sweet, or beautiful. There is only matter. There is only motion. This is what Kant called the phenomenal world. The world as it appears to us. But behind it, forever hidden, is what he called the noumenal world. The thing in itself, the raw reality beyond all perception, a reality we will never touch. But it goes even further. Neuroscience tells us what you see is not even the present moment. The brain is slow. It must gather signals, process them, stitch them together into coherence. By the time you see a bird take flight, the moment has already passed. You live inside a delayed reconstruction, a hallucination your brain has convinced you is real time. In this sense, perception is not a window into reality. It is a simulation generated within you. The philosopher Schopenhauer once said, "The world is my representation, not the world itself, but my brain's translation of it." We are locked inside this translation, prisoners of the mind's version of reality. And so the terrifying thought arises, if everything we know of the world is already within us, then what is left of the outside? But if the world is within us, then what about you, the one who sees it? You imagine yourself as standing outside of perception, looking at it, controlling it. But who is this I that experiences? Where does it live? Try to find it. Search inside. You will find thoughts, emotions, sensations, but never the solid core of a self. It slips away the moment you try to grasp it. The philosopher David Hume noticed this centuries ago. He wrote, "When I enter most intimately into what I call myself, I always stumble on some particular perception. I never can catch myself without a perception. I never can observe anything but the perception." In other words, the self is not a thing you discover. It is a story told by the mind. Modern neuroscience agrees. What we call the self is a bundle of processes. Memory, sensation, attention, stitched together into a single narrative. It feels continuous, unified, enduring. But in reality, it is fragmented, shifting, and unstable. Buddhist philosophy goes even further. It calls the self an illusion, an Atman, no self. The self is not a fixed entity. but the mirage created by craving and attachment. We believe in the I because we are terrified of its absence. Even our reflections in others' eyes is part of the illusion. The French psychoanalyst Jacques Lacan described how a child first recognizes itself in a mirror, not as a true discovery of the self, but as an identification with an image. From the beginning, we are never one with ourselves. We are split, mediated, always seen from outside. And Jean-Paul Sartre warned of something even darker, the gaze of the other. You become a thing to be judged, measured, defined. Your inner sense of self collapses beneath the weight of being seen. So what remains of the self? Not a solid ground, but a shifting mask, a flicker inside the same hallucination that contains the world. Perhaps then there is no experiencer behind the experience, no I standing apart from the images and sounds. There is only the stream of perception itself, flowing and unstable, without an anchor. If the world outside is an illusion, and the self inside is an illusion, then what is left? The mind reaches for something solid, some ultimate ground. But again and again, it finds only more reflections, more appearances, more dreams. This is why the ancient traditions spoke not of reality, but of Maya, the veil of illusion. Hindu philosophers warned that what we call the world is like a mirage shimmering in the desert. It looks real, it feels real, but when you try to reach for it, there is nothing there. The Buddhists went even further. Some schools like Yogacara claim that everything is consciousness only. The mountains, the rivers, even your body, all projections of the mind, like figures in a dream. And perhaps this is not just a metaphor, for how do you know you are not dreaming now? Descartes asked this question centuries ago. If every experience is filtered through perception, then there is no test to prove we are not inside a dream. The Chinese sage Zhuangzi once dreamed he was a butterfly. Upon waking, he asked himself, was he a man who had dreamt he was a butterfly, or a butterfly now dreaming he was a man? The line between dreamer and dream dissolves. Today, we imagine this in a new language. We call it simulation theory. Perhaps the world is a code, a program, a vast artificial reality. But even this idea assumes too much. It assumes the simulation is outside of us, running somewhere beyond. What if the simulation is not out there at all? What if it has always been within? The unsettling possibility is this: there may be no boundary at all, no hard line between world and self, between dream and reality. Instead, there is only one endless field of appearance, flickering, shifting, ungraspable. And so we return to the secret. We have never touched the world, because the world has never been separate from you. It has always been within.